In today's show, we revisit projects that have recently launched in this crazy bear market and see how they're doing. I'm your host, Philip Kalinko. Next to me is your other host, Morland Mount, and together we bring you the NFT show.
Together again. We're back
Together
together
again,
again.
Morland. The two guys, I see you now. It's like I haven't seen you for years. How you been, my brother?
I've been well. I've been well. Yourself, you're sitting in the dark.
I'm sitting in the dark, load shedding in South Africa. Hopefully the generator will take me through to the end. It should. But all the important stuff is working. I've got all my screens, I got all my cameras, I got all some of my lights. So yeah, we just carry on, man. What can we do?
Ready to bring a great show, whether the power's on or not, right?
Yeah, no matter what the weather, as long as we're together, right?
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
So we're going to start here. We're looking at Mono Loco. So this was one that we did bring you, and before it launched, we looked at this, and I remember being very excited about this. I do feel for any project really launching in this climate. We have seen a few successfully launch in this climate, but for the most part, a lot of projects are struggling. I don't know that it's just the climate. It could be a mixture of things. I think the 3D meta has definitely gotten a bit of a tough run at the moment because of how many rug pulls there have been in this genre. I think it's probably a mixture of factors. But what we're looking at here is currently an unfortunate situation. And I do hope that they can turn it around. So if you remember, the original collection size was supposed to be 6,666. And then they dropped it to 3,333 when they saw the mint wasn't going so well. And then they ended up closing it at this point at 1,509, but 1,500. You can see the floor price is definitely not where people would like it to be. Volume traded also, not too terrible, but not ideal. But definitely doing something right. To be honest, this is just two sales, so that could be quite manipulated quite easily, right? It's been two sales at quite a high price, so that could have really, quite honestly, just been bought by the team to try and get a bit of this bump up. So you can't tell much about it, but I think really their Twitter is what tells you a story. So if you look through their Twitter, they are admitting that, so they're just saying, let me just read it to you. Last few days have been difficult for Mono Loco. We have been completely forced to change our vision of the project. Let us walk you through what's been happening. So number one, community poll for deciding the future of Mono Loco resulted in the creation of an alpha group with a closed Discord, reduction of supply, and a free mint raffle for 100 NFTs. Number two, some ways of solving floor price by sweeping floor strategies by the community and giving them a free mint in exchange. The internal team cannot sweep the floor due to OpenSea term and conditions. So to be quite honest, I personally really don't like floor manipulation. And it usually, and in this case also, is a red flag for me. Not that something nefarious is going on, but just that this is really struggling. I typically, that's one of my personal, if I start seeing a lot of this in a project, I usually get out, whether I'm up or down. A holder, if I'm a holder and I start to see this, I usually worry, but I do understand why projects need to try and do it. You've got to turn around some way. So, I'm trying to be kind. Number three, we faced some reveal problems due to resolution quality of the monos. OpenSea only allows 100 megabyte files. Also some bugs with OpenSea with the unrevealed NFTs and some ID names. Okay, so that's quite a lot of issues. Right, just one of those issues is a problem. Like quality of artwork is a problem, and rarity and also overlapping of different elements. That's quite a lot of problems, and it's going to take them a long time to sort out. But hats off to them for saying they're going to sort it out. They have gotten their rarity ranking on Rarity Sniper, which is definitely a positive. Again, more NFT quality problems that are being solved. Everyone's receiving what they bought. We are aware that some 3D renderings are overlapping. It will be updated over time. Not ideal, guys. We have faced some problems with free mint. So even that they were trying to due to fix they're struggling with, and so on. So what I want to say is that I take my hats off to the Monoloco team for admitting that they've had challenges, admitting that they've been on the wrong path, and being willing to change direction and to continue fighting like they are. With that said, I think that this might be a mountain that might be too hard to climb. And, the truth is, guys, there are hundreds and hundreds of new projects out there almost every day. Why put your ETH into something that's now, instead of being a short-term win, is going to be a long-term gamble? Now, at the floor price of 0.06, it's not a huge gamble. And 100%, if you love the team and love the project, stay in it, because, 0.06, it's already, the damage is already done if you're still in it. And okay, if it goes to zero, it goes to zero. But the upside is in 6 months, you switch on your PC and it's sitting at 0.2. If you're not in this project, I would not put my money in a project that's got so many challenges when there are other projects available that don't have those same challenges.
Yeah, and you definitely touched on it right at the start. This current market we're in is really challenging. Like a lot of all the blue chips are down, all these new mints that are happening, like a lot of them are really struggling. So it's a tough climate to be launching in right now. So yeah,
and I think if you compound that with a couple of mistakes,
yeah,
it's very
exactly.
unforgiving at the moment, even without mistakes. You
Yeah,
compound that with the wrong approach initially, which they've admitted to, and a whole lot of other stuff. It's tough. It's tough. But
for sure.
look, it is what it is, and that's honest post-drop analysis on Mono Locker.
So another one that launched just recently in this bear market, but has really really done well for itself, is Degen Tunes. These guys launched and sold out on February 22nd, and the mint price was 0.085. So a reasonable price for a mint. And I love the artwork, to be honest. This is personally right up my alley. I love the cartoony sort of old school vibe to it. Yeah, I love this style. I love this art. When you get a look at some of the one of ones or the more rare ones, they did really well with this collection, and that honestly is what really took them to where they are now. They're sitting at a 0.52 floor, so half an ETH floor from 0.08 at mint, and that actually is down from where it was. It had a peak almost at 1 ETH. Average sale price just at reveal, I guess this would have been around reveal, was 0.9, so almost 1 ETH, and just leveling off a little bit, right? Everything is down now, but it hasn't crashed, which is definitely a good sign for a new project, a new mint. It wasn't just people flipping and trying to catch that wave after the reveal. And when you look at the sales, there's sales happening almost every 20 minutes. And what gets me really bullish on this one, and thinking that it's going to be a long-term player in the space, is the fact that a lot of rares are being purchased at well above floor, right? That's always a good sign when you've got potential whales coming in and buying these rares. So if you go on their Twitter, you can take a look. This rare 18 hours ago was bought for 3.69 ETH. Nice. This one here, this one was bought for 2.5 ETH. This one was bought for 3. So definitely a lot of volume happening here, a lot of activity. And another thing that gets me excited is they've just purchased their land in NFT Worlds. So they just grabbed their NFT Worlds land, and they're going to be building their Toonsverse, their metaverse on that. So a lot of really great signs with this project. Just like if you got in on Mint, you're laughing. I think this is just going to continue to go. Oh, look, a sale just happened for half an ETH, just that floor. So, like, I think this is just going to continue to do well when volume all around in on OpenSea starts to pick up. Right, volume is down horrifically for across the board on OpenSea. So once that volume starts picking back up again, this is going to be one of those projects that people are wanting to buy. It's going to be one of those ones that have established itself through this tough time. And yeah, this is my opinion, not financial advice at all. But if you could grab one, I think you'd be sitting in a good spot come the next NFT bull run. That
It's
isn't
funny.
unless there's something drastic happens or something comes out about the team or whatever. But that's NFTs, right? You never know.
For sure, for sure. We saw that with Jungle Freaks. That was like a sure bet, a sure bet. And then all that stuff came out and it was gone. I actually saw recently it's recovered a bit. I mean, I sold out at the very bottom. I sold out like the day it was at its lowest was when I got out. It's recovered a
Typical.
bit. It's sitting at 0.6. I think they also bought an NFT World, so they definitely, still around. But yeah, it is interesting, and it's interesting to watch in this climate how people are so like desperate for the hype of a good mint that when ones are doing well, they really are doing quite well, which is quite interesting. And
Mm-hmm.
another one that's done really well is Loser Club. A collection size of 10,000 NFTs, 55%, 54% owner count. Floor price currently sitting at 0.17. It's a bit down from where it was, and I'll show you the activity, but the mint price was 0.088. And you can see a very good amount of Ethereum traded. If we go here to, let's first show you a little bit of art, especially made it big for you guys. So you can see here, this artist John Javon is a very reputable artist with huge following, like over 1 million cumulative followers amongst Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or whatever. So really, really a well-known artist, and they've done a few good collabs. Like they were on the Morning Squeeze, which is Lemon Friends morning show, which is not easy to get on. They've said that they're putting 200 Ethereum from the mint back into the community wallet. They want to put it towards building the project and the community, which is also very good. And you get 50% royalties on secondary sales from this collection. So it's quite bullish, and to be honest, I think quite a good entry point, especially if you're a fan of Javon. I just want to see where that link takes you. I didn't see that was linked before. Then we go to activity here. You can see that it was launched 6 days ago. And here you can see, I mean, it really has had good volume. Went all the way just close to 0.3 yesterday as a floor price and has pulled back a bit today. But you can see, like Morland was saying with the previous one, there are some sales above floor price for rares. Sure, this is top 4%, and maybe 30% above floor is not really the most bullish. However, it is still a bit of a bull, right?
Mm-hmm.
Positive thing to see sales above floor, but ideally you want to be seeing the rares going for 1 ETH, 2 ETH, almost 10 times the floor price, which you're not typically seeing here, but you are seeing them go for a good 30% over floor price. So if we jump onto their Twitter over here, you can see, okay, so this is Javon's Twitter. That's what it opened. If you jump onto Loser Club's Twitter, see they've got 30,000 followers, and they've had really decent engagement. Whenever you've got a notable artist, it definitely has that sort of cult following, because you got these die-hard fans and people like that. I do think it's quite telling that there's a star catcher as his profile picture.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would make that a loser club personally. Look, I really do like the art.
that's
Something
cool.
different is, yeah. I mean, it's not a derivative. It's not a derivative. Um, so he's saying this is the loser in star catchers. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, look, very interesting project, very cool. The team is fully doxed. I'll just jump down here. Fully doxed pictures, proper Twitter names, really nice to see. And again, it is a theme with all the projects that we're looking at that are doing well tonight. They all have fully doxed teams, which we've been saying for the last couple of months is now it's so important, especially with all these rugs that have been going on. But yeah, I mean, I would spend a bit of time on their Twitter, spend a bit of time on their website. Seems like an exciting project and not financial advice, but I think at 0.17, almost double mint price, it's actually quite a good entry price for a project like this and a good opportunity to get into something that would usually be a lot higher than what it is currently.
Yeah, I was thinking of grabbing one actually. I feel like that's a good price. That
I'm a good
0.17.
salesman. No, so
Yeah.
so speak to me after the show. With this amount, we might be able to do a bit better for you.
Oh, okay. We'll see. We'll see.
Mm.
All right. Next one we've got up is Dippies. Uh Again, I love the art. A lot of the art we're showing tonight has sort of the similar theme of that cartoony, um, not necessarily thick line, but like the um I don't know, what would you call this, Philip? What would this style be? Like it's that
I think
cartoon.
cartoony is right. It reminds me a bit
Yeah.
of Simpsons type vibe, sort of
Yeah.
animated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that seems to be doing really well currently in the current NFT space. So Dippy's launched actually just a couple days ago on March 2nd. Well, a week ago, I guess. March 2nd, they launched, and their mint price was 0.06. So again, really, really reasonable. And I think that was one of their main focuses, was that this could be an entry for anyone to get into NFTs. So 0.06, great entry price, and they're sitting at a 0.45 right now, which is awesome. You're sitting in the money if you've held this since mint. Just taking a look at the activity, it's looking like somebody's just coming in and just buying up the whole collection. We're getting buys like every couple minutes here. This is crazy. So definitely has the volume. Volume's picking up today. It seems. So hit this peak of 0.6, 0.63,
It was
and then
before reveal, I'm
before,
assuming.
yeah, I would assume that's before reveal, pre or at reveal, day before, and then you get the typical dip, and things are picking up as the team starts delivering and things start happening. So uh yeah, just a lot of bullish signs. Again, look at the purchases above, well above floor, 0.65. Got a couple just above floor, just above floor, 0.62. That was an offer that was accepted as well. So a lot of they're flying off the shelves, it seems. The people in the space like it. They're resonating with the art. Um,
So this was the one that I listed at 0.45,
oh no.
and it was bought by Steve Aoki.
Really?
Yeah. And I was saying on Friday's show, I missed you a lot. I was saying how that's the one thing you don't want to see. You don't want the
Yeah.
guy or the lady buying your thing to be like Pranksy or Steve Aoki, because it's sort of like, okay, you're an idiot. This is a great
Yeah.
project. I'm going to buy 100.
I'll,
Um,
I'll I'll
and
take
that's
your scraps. That's
then
so
that day
funny.
it went all the way to zero point 0.6, and then now
Yeah.
it's retracted a bit. After reveal, it did drop, and I was able to pick one up at 0.28.
Oh, okay.
So I sold at almost 0.5. I bought back in at 0.28. I'm quite happy to be back in it. But yeah, that was the one funny thing.
So I'm not going to go over roadmap and everything. They've got your typical NFT roadmap, but in terms of the fully docs team, they've got everything here. You can go to all their links. They may not have their actual face, but they do have links to Twitters and LinkedIn and previous work. So yeah, I mean, Steve Aoki bought one, guys. Is
He bought a few.
That should
He
be
bought a
enough for
few.
that should be enough for you
And
right now,
Shanana
right
is saying
there.
in the comments that she also thinks that there's an airdrop coming also, which is always nice and always gets the
Yes,
market pumped.
somewhere in here, it would say that actually. That's okay, but yeah,
Yeah, all
they're
good.
definitely a project that's delivering on what they've promised, and great artwork, and yeah, they've got that hype behind it, right? They've got some big names buying into it. So again, never financial advice. Do your own research. Take a look.
Yeah. Clay Friends. So this one actually minted at 0.2. It's sitting just under mint price. But this collection I actually bought into on the secondary market. I didn't have whitelist for it. And I do like this project a lot for a lot of reasons. So the first one is I'm really enjoying the smaller collection sizes. I have noticed recently, the bigger collection sizes are really struggling to sell out. So I think 5,000 is good. I'm even thinking 3,000 is great. Great owner distribution. A decent amount of Ethereum traded, but nothing like huge. I keep doing the same thing. I want to show you guys the art, and I keep getting ahead of myself. So if you have a look here, and I'm going to show you about the artist, a notable artist in the space. I think we could pretty much say they're sitting at floor. I mean, there's one at 0.19 and then one at 0.199, and then we at mint price. I'll show you what part in the cycle we are. At the moment, I'm really appreciating anything that's unique. To be quite honest, with all these derivatives and Kevin, and then derivatives of Kevin, and then I mean, Kevin was already a derivative of MFs.
Kevin Club.
Yeah, the muted Kevin Cats Club. I mean, it's just I really just I just see something different, and I'm like, wow, I love it. Okay, activity over here. You'll see that and this is very similar to the last chart that Morland showed you, and this is really what you do want to see. You do want to see it holding pretty steady. You expect it to drop after reveal, but then you do want to see it starting to rise, if possible. And this is a typical chart and exactly what you want to see. Also, this one, unlike the first one we looked at, is 100 sales, which is enough of a sample size to say yes, the price is rising. Sales are slowing down, and we are finding that people lose interest initially and then they sort of wait to see. So there's 100 sales, but today's not over. The day before was 157. The day before was 181, but that was the day after reveal. So I do think today and tomorrow and the next day will be quite telling as far as the direction of this project. However, if you look at it, there's a lot of positives here, which is why I personally bought into it even without whitelist. So we've got world-renowned stop-motion animator Trent Shy is pleased to present you, Clay Friends. About the artist. So he comes from South Carolina. He's self-taught in stop-motion animations, and he's widely considered an expert in his art form. He has a loyal following. Again, we're seeing almost 1 million followers, over 250 million views across TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Having worked with notable brands such as New Balance, MTV, Bleacher Report, Trent is no stranger to corporate partnerships. Trent is passionate about spending time with his wife Liz and hitting the trails of his mountain bike. So again, yeah, this isn't like these other projects that were saying, oh, we have an artist that's done Marvel and Disney, and then you're like, what is the artist's name? And it's like, we're not telling you. Yeah, the guy is well known in the space before this. He's got a very big following. He's not shy to give you his name. He's giving you his wife's name. He's got nothing to hide. So I like that. Again, another, and you're seeing a pattern here. All of these are fully doxed teams. And that really makes a difference. And here you go, there's their pictures. This is what they do. This guy's hilarious. But just good to see. Again, this isn't a massive team. These two are just moderators, and an advisor, a creator, an artist, but they're willing to put their stamp on it. They're willing to put their name on it. And that does go a long way. And then I just wanted to show you this video because you can see his passion and how he did it, which we always like to show you.
So each one of those he made out of clay first, and then.
I don't know. I don't know if each and every one was. I don't know.
Okay.
But I think this was maybe part of his idea generation process.
Right.
I don't think he would have done 5,000 personally.
Oh, this is how they take the picture.
Yeah, you see.
Okay. I like this. This is cool. This is really cool to see. That's really, yeah. Man, that would take still the time to make all these traits out of clay and then take all the pictures and do all. Oh, wow. Very talented.
Yes, I would imagine that it'd have to do like 100. If there's 100 traits, you'd have to do each of them in clay. I've lost us. Are we here?
Here we are.
There we go. You'd have to do each. You'd have to do each one of the traits in clay initially, possibly touch them up. Okay, so you could, but I imagine he made probably 10, 15, 20 of those guys with different traits.
Yeah.
But always nice just to see the creation process. I'm not going to take you through roadmap and all of that. If you're interested, look in the project. It was a 0.2 mint sitting at mint price. Well, it's just gone down since I started talking about GC. As I say, I'm bullish on a project that drops. I would have bought it at the 0.99. Now 0.199. But yeah, something that I like, and I like the team, and I especially like the art being unique. I think in different market conditions, this would be, double what it is currently. The question is, can it maintain momentum? It doesn't have a huge, compared to, the 6,000 we saw, it's got 1,000 ETH traded, which is still amazing. But is that enough to carry the sales and to keep it moving and to keep that momentum? Time will tell.
Yeah. And then another one that's sort of based off of, the artist is this one's really interesting. Cyber brokers. It was
they're doing amazing.
They are killing it. It was a 100% allow list. So no public mint. You had to get in on their whitelist, their pre-sale. And the mint price was a little bit more expensive. It was a 0.35 mint, so pretty pricey. But what you're buying into is the artist, Josie Bellini. She's a well-known artist, and this is her PFP 10,000 NFT collection. So what you're really buying from this isn't just the cool art. It's really, really cool artwork. But you're buying into her and into what she's wanting to create and deliver with this whole world that she's developing, the cyber broker world. So there's plans for metaverse. There's all sorts of exclusive experiences and exclusive content for holders. But I really do think it's people buying into Josie and her art and what she wants to build and deliver on in Web3. So really unique artwork, really a ton of different attributes, different style as well. Not something you've really seen in the space. So hitting all the boxes on that. And then when you take a look at the floor price, it's sitting at 4.3, up from that 0.35 mint price. 10,000 items. There's just under 4,000 holders. And taking a look at the activity, it's actually picking up quite a bit. Just in the last day, there was there's just over 800 sales. So it's gaining that momentum. It's I don't know what to say about it any more than just like it's killing it, you know?
Isn't this the one where the NFT is completely on the
Yeah, it's
blockchain?
completely on chain. Sorry, I
It's the
forgot
first.
forgot to
It's
mention that.
Yeah, it's the first project of its type that the artwork is completely on chain. I don't really know what that means.
So
Maybe we
what
can
does it
see
mean
there.
that
Yeah.
cyber brokers are fully on chain? Cyber brokers are stored entirely on the Ethereum network. The art is composed of SVGs, a human readable text-based file format that allows for specifying the positions, colors, and shapes to be drawn. So why does it matter? Most NFTs only store partial data on the chain, the token ID, and a URL that points to the token's metadata. Some NFTs may store additional information on chain, such as metadata and trait metadata, all the way to storing the art entirely on chain. Only a few projects currently store the full art and metadata on chain, including just these few others. So, well, actually, loot. If you remember loot, if you're in the
Yes.
space for loot, uh, simple, just words on a black screen, right? So the fact that this artwork is getting stored on chain is pretty impressive, right?
Let's
For
make
the
one
tech
big.
behind it, right? Let's go. Let's see.
Any nice one? I just want to see it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like this art style. It looks like pastelly, almost like water painted. I love it. I think it's great.
And
But
it's going to have historical significance as the first PFP project that's being stored entirely on chain.
yeah.
That's really for me why I think it's seen the mooning that it's seen.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, and
yeah,
it's
very cool.
art on chain. It's not just basic words on
Yes,
chain, right? Like
exactly.
the amount of let's processing
Coding.
power or coding or whatever is needed to store this on the blockchain compared to loot, like which is just words, uh, is huge, right? So
Mm.
the team behind this is revolutionary, pushing the envelope for the NFT space. And then you've got a very well known artist that is in Web3 and is trying to develop and grow her Web3 um, ecosystem. So you got people that want to get involved on that jumping in. I just think there's a lot of definite bullish signs, not only because the price just took off, but all of the pieces coming together for sure.
100%. Cool project and one that I'm sure. Oh, the lights just came back on.
Hey, we got power.
Welcome, South Africa. Load shedding is done for the night. Great. So yeah, I think I wish I admitted that. That's what I think. All right, guys. So this one's a bit of a different one. This is Howlers. There's no roadmap, and to the naked eye, this one looks very strange because it's sitting at a very good floor price. It is got a huge amount of volume traded for a new collection, and I'll show you shortly. This is the art, and if when you look at it on the surface, it looks very strange because when you go to their website, there is absolutely nothing. 5,000 wolves drawn by hand by an artist, generated by code. Okay. Um, right. There was no Discord. There is now a very sparse Discord, only a Twitter. Um, the website is owned, and then you just reach out by Noah Claire Davis. Okay. So there's got to be something more going on than meets the eye because no one heard of this. This was actually a stealth mint, which basically means there was no mint on the website. He posted the contract address without warning on Twitter, and you then minted from there. So this artist Noah is actually the Christie's auction house art guy. He's the main art guy at Christie's, and that is the reason that this has got such support. Obviously, Christie's has been quite open to the NFT space. A lot of notable auctions gone on there, and he's the curator for them, right? So people know him. So he is doxed, even though, here it does say, and it's hard to read, but this website is owned and operated by Noah Claire Davis. The activities occurring on this website are solely controlled and managed by Noah in his individual capacity and are not in any way attributed to Christie's Incorporated nor its affiliates. To the extent possible under law, Noah has waived all copyright and related or neighboring rights to howlers. So basically, you've got the right to artwork. So very basic website. Obviously, a bit of lawyering here, not equivalent to the Clone X, but always good to see a bit of lawyering. It means he's had some advice, and that's really the reason that it's doing so well. They've got a decent following over here, 31,000, just under. And this Twitter, obviously, because it was their only way of connecting with everyone, this Twitter was buzzing. Okay, absolutely buzzing. The engagement is incredible. This was their Discord in effect, right? And so they had the stealth launch. Unfortunately, stealth launch is there specifically to try and avoid botting, because there's not supposed to be any leaks or any details up front, and really try and allow a fair organic mint. People who are on Twitter at the time, following, excited, boom, there's the link. Everyone buys before it can be botted or whatever. But here, there was a botting issue. And on their Twitter, he does apologize for what happened. He doesn't know how it happened, but he has acknowledged that there was a bot issue, that a lot of the mints were able to be minted by these bots who just flip them, automatically to try and get as much profit as possible. The mint price was under 0.1. I think it was 0.05 or 6. Stand to be a bit corrected, but definitely under 0.1. But the other thing is that he was quite publicized. So FaZe Banks said how excited he was, and a lot of notable names in the space were really very excited by this. And again, the volume traded in just about 8 or 9 days tells a really big story. There is definitely good support for this project. Again, I mean, if you're looking here, 5 or 6 an hour, and again, in this climate, to be able to sell out and almost 10x is really quite something. You can see here, top 1% was sold at 0.9. So we do see some sales above. Don't know who's buying, who 0000 is, but this person is buying
a lot.
Yeah, a hang of a lot. A lot of them. So shout out to 000000. But yeah, guys, just goes to show you, I think there's a common theme here tonight in all the projects that we've looked at. All of them have got notable artists behind them. And we are seeing this as the latest meta, in my opinion, is well-known artists, sort of art-led projects. We saw that with Loveless City, which was also a successful mint in this climate. Sold out pretty quickly. Short was a 3,500 collection size, but tripled in price, or 4x, and has stayed there. So we are seeing these artist-led projects are doing nicely, and it's going to be interesting to see long term. My experience is that art projects typically don't have the legs. So you see Creature World, which got really hyped and went all the way to 4 Ethereum. And Danny there, and how he's been trying to run it and make it, but he doesn't have experience in the space. So obviously you've sold out, you've got Ethereum. You can hire people to advise you, to help you with where your strengths, where your weaknesses are, and focus on the art. So it's going to be interesting, because there's just such a huge amount of these art projects that have recently dropped successfully in these tough times, that's huge to do, and amazing that they've been able to do it. It's going to be very interesting to watch the next 2 months, 6 months, a year, how many of these projects are still around and how many of them are increasing in value and continue to deliver to their holders.
Yeah, definitely. And that's going to be, I think, the biggest test for any NFT project is, will you be here in a year's time? Will you be here in 2? Will you be here in 5? Right? Like, this space, it's tough. It chews people up and spits them out pretty quickly. So
Yeah, I was listening to one of NFT Nate's recent uploads, and he was saying that's one of the questions that he asks any project that he interviews. So he asked them what is when he's trying to see what their intentions are and should he bring this project to the public. He asked them what is their 5-year plan. And he
Mhm.
says, it's quite a good one because very few projects have thought beyond Mint or maybe the first 6 months or maybe the first year. They've got a roadmap for a year and they're not thinking, 2 years, 5 years. He says the ones that are thinking 5 years ahead, those are the ones that are going to be successful. The other ones that, haven't even thought about tomorrow are not. So that's quite interesting. And speaking about NFT, Nate, don't know if you guys know, but we had him on our show. You can watch the video here. I interviewed NFT Nate. He's a top bloke, really. He heard I reached out to him and told him that we were entering the space. He phoned me straight away, said to me, Philip, get a pen and paper. This is what you got to do on YouTube. 40 minutes of his time, okay? Just telling us the stuff he's learned over the last 6 months. Anyway, he came on our show and we did the interview with him, which I really, really enjoyed. I missed Moreland, really enjoyed it, right? And then I said to him, come on, Nate, now our turn to come on you. And he said, I'll give you a deal. When you hit 1,000 subscribers, you can come on the NFT Nate show. So this weekend, I'm gonna be, because it's out of his time zone. Moreland's gonna be sleeping.
I'll be
I'm gonna be
sleeping.
appearing on NFT Nate's channel, and it will upload there, which I'm looking really forward to. He's going to interview me, so I don't know what he's going to ask me. I don't know who I'm. This little oak. What does he want to know? But he's a good interviewer, and I'm looking really forward to it. So I can't wait to share the link with everyone of this interview. So that's exciting. That's coming up on Saturday. It's going to be pre-recorded. It's not going to be live, and then it's going to go through Nate's whole editing process. So it might only be next week or whatever. But yeah, looking very, very forward to appearing on NFT Nate's show. And just
That's
a big
gonna be
shout out to him.
that's gonna be some good content.
Yeah.
Nate makes some great quality content, and putting you two in the same room, it's a win-win.
Listen,
Who wouldn't want to watch that, right?
Thank you, man. In our interview, when I interviewed him, I was so starstruck. Now, since I could barely get my words out. Now, since that interview, him and I have actually become quite close, and we have spoken since, and we do DM and whatever. So I'm feeling a lot more relaxed. And just a shout out to him because he's such a genuine guy and had all the time in the world for us when we had no subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, really can't wait. So that's exciting. What is tomorrow, Mollard?
Friday. We're
Tomorrow?
freestyling.
Freestyle
Freestyle
Friday.
Friday. We're
Looking
just
forward
hanging
to
out and
that.
chatting NFTs, taking your questions, your comments. And yeah, come hang out with us tomorrow, guys. Same time, same place.
For sure. We'll look at the state of the market. We'll have a look at some of the top news, and then we'll let you guys sort of drive the content. I missed Moreland last Freestyle Friday, so I'm really looking forward to having him this Freestyle Friday. And then, guys, if you haven't already, please like this video while it's live because that really helps. YouTube seems to really like that. So stop what we're doing. We'll just wait.
Yep. Hit that button.
Thumbs up. Okay. And then please subscribe. If you haven't already, come to our Discord. It's one more day left in the free NFT competition. One more day. So you've got 24 hours from now, from when it's going live. If you haven't entered yet, the way to do it is to come to our Discord. Where do they find our Discord, Moreland?
Down in the description or in our about us on our YouTube. So
you've got to come through to our YouTube channel, search for the NFT show. If you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter or Twitch, because I don't know if you guys know, but we actually stream to 4 locations at a time. So you have to come through to our YouTube, get our Discord, come into the Discord. There's a giveaway announcement section, and there you can react and you stand a chance to win Junkyard Dog NFT, which we'll give away tomorrow in celebration of our 1,000 subscriptions. And yeah, we'll keep doing that every couple of thousand because it's my NFTs.
maybe I'll be able to. Maybe someday I'll be able to share mine.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy to give them at 2,000. You guys have got a deal, another one, and we'll go up in value as well. But Junkyard Dog's a great project. So please come through to our Discord, subscribe. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Freestyle Fridays.
We'll see you guys then.
Thank you, guys. Keep well.